Hi, today I will be guiding you through some very basic techniques to improve your cartooning and your drawing skills. Doing these simple exercises for just about 5 minutes every day can make a huge difference in your skills, and it will also enhance your muscle memory. You don't need to have any fancy materials to practice these techniques. Any piece of paper, old newspapers, or even used papers will do. When I was about 10, I was introduced to these basics, and it made a big difference and impact on my drawing and sketching abilities. First, let's start with scribbling. Scribbling is a great way to clear your mind and to remove the pressure of perfection. It's also a lot of fun. Scribbling helps to loosen up your wrist as well. It's important to remember that we should never strive for perfection when we are doing these kind of practice exercises. There's no such thing as perfect art. It is always an expression of the individual artist. Next, we'll move on to drawing lines. This may seem obvious, boring, and even intimidating, but remember, we are not looking for perfection. Focus on creating lines with a single stroke, from left to right and also from right to left, from top to bottom and also bottom to top. If your lines go astray, don't worry about it. Just focus on making a single stroke. Over time, your confidence will improve and your strokes will become crisp and very clear. So by doing these kind of practices every day, you improve your muscle memory. So muscle memory is basically a phenomenon where your muscles remember and can exactly repeat a movement you've done repeatedly in the past. So for example, if I make lines like this every day for 5 minutes for about 7 days, then the 8th day my lines will be much crisp, clear, and I wouldn't have a lot of pressure in my head to make them. It will come very naturally. This is what is called being in the flow. Every day you can keep practicing onto the same sheet of paper. You don't need a fresh paper every time, which is why I was saying earlier that you can use newspapers as well to do this. So the longer the lines, the more flow you will get. So I would recommend you to try on different lengths of papers. The next is practicing diagonal lines in all kinds of directions. So you can start with the bottom left and move towards the top right. And from there you can go from the top right to the bottom left. So you go in the same way from one side to other and other to one. And then you can go in the other direction, wherein I can go from the top left and I can go to the bottom right. Now this in the reverse would be from the bottom right to the top left. So I can also use my tiny finger like I was showing you in the video before. You can use the tiny finger to also give you a little bit of support when you're creating the lines. But a lot of times what happens is when your finger will touch the paper, and if you're using a very dark pencil, it will leave some kind of mark. So I would still recommend you not to do that too much. In the beginning to practice, you can still try that. Finally, we move on to shapes. Start with the circles, ovals, rectangles, squares, and triangles. So the easy way to draw circles is you start drawing a circle in thin air, which is you keep your palm away from the paper and keep creating a circle in thin air. Move closer and closer to your paper, and the moment you touch your paper, you'll notice a very good circle which is there. Again, here we are not looking for perfection. We are only looking to create something in a very large size and in a single stroke. So just remember this important thing. Everything that you're creating in these exercises is only for the purpose of getting into the flow. So you can do ovals in the same way, where you keep your palm away from the paper, create ovals in thin air, keep going closer and closer to your paper, and the moment you touch the paper, you'll notice a nice oval which comes. So why are we practicing ovals and circles in large sizes? When you make ovals and circles in smaller sizes, you will notice that you have better control. But the moment you try to draw something much bigger, it is very intimidating and you don't have control over the flow of it. Which is why these practices really help a lot. And also what happens is every single thing on earth can be drawn with just these basic lines and shapes. You don't need to know anything else to know how to draw. So the next thing is to draw lots of squares, lots of rectangles in different sizes and different directions. And again, here if you notice, I am not drawing anything perfect. I'm going with the flow, making sure that I have single strokes and everything, and these are clean, crisp lines. Don't have jagged lines, don't have broken lines, don't go too slow where you want to create something too perfect. You just need to get a lot of confidence, and you will get that with doing this every single day. I've been doing this for over 20 years right now, and this has helped me tremendously, and it's also very therapeutic. So it's a very feel good factor. So I would recommend you guys to begin on this at the earliest that you can. There is no age to drawing, there is no age where you have to start or that it's too late to draw something. So no matter at what age you are in, please pick up a pencil, pick up a pen, or use any medium that you like. You can even use a crayon, you can use sketch pens to do this, and just have a piece of paper and keep practicing every single day. I hope these basic tips are useful for you and it helps you in your journey of drawing, and I will see you soon for the next one. Bye bye.